Aquarius 2021, better late than never. New Year's reading. I'll let you go for one-on-one reading. All my info is on my website. Link below. Leave a comment if this video resonates for you. Like, share, follow across all social media platforms. Spirit, love, and light. Let's jump right into it. Highest possible messages for Aquarius 2021 New Year's reading. Wishing you guys the best. Subscribe. Leave a thumbs up right now if you can while you're at it. Four Wands, Aries energy, coming out of a public event. Coming out of a public celebration, some sort of public decorum, exposing yourself to the masses in kind of like a traditional professional way, not in some sort of like expose way, but like it could be Three of Wands in the upright as well, waiting for your ships to come in, waiting to set sail, leaving the holidays even with that Four of Wands in the reverse. To emotional solace. So you could be, using the momentum of this new start, Aquarius, with that emotional offer coming in. Ace of Cups is an emotional offer, emotional solace, could be love and happiness coming your way, some internalized strength for this new start. You could have recently even been divorced, and now you're kind of, this emotional solace for you is freedom. Could have been having to be internally strong throughout these holidays, Aquarius. If this reading is for you and it's resonating, or just this quarantine period as a whole with the Hangman, giving you a new chance, at enlightenment or a new perspective, a new angle of being able to see your situation, Aquarius. Yeah, that Four of Wands is tricky because it's like coming out of a public event, coming out of holidays, and after you come out of this holiday season is when you get your emotional offer. You probably had to go through the holidays solo dolo, or maybe it was just hard on you, with this quarantine period. So maybe you had to spend the holidays alone by yourself, Aquarius, in some regards, and you had to kind of invest your time and resources into yourself. But all that is changing. That Nine of Swords in the reverse, you're coming out of this kind of in your head period, maybe questioning or wondering why things are the way they are. Maybe with that Hangman, kind of trying to tend a tendency towards looking at the current situation as opposed to the bigger picture, is what I'm getting at, Aquarius. The more that you kind of zoom out and start seeing things, as in your favor, how are they to your liking? How are they to your favor, as opposed to zooming in on the details and seeing that they don't meet your criterion, or kind of like a woe is me type energy. But a real true honesty emotionally behind that, and really truly kind of flinging those worries or those fears away for what they are. They tend to mask themselves as not being able to meet a criterion or a quota, or kind of like a stack of a laundry list of unfulfilled items in your life. Things didn't go this way, things should have been like this, things should have been better. But really truly at the end of the day, those are all illusions masquerading as your feelings. And when you really try to understand that those thoughts and those thinkings and those dissonances are just packages for frequencies in your life, then you could just kind of like ignorantly be at bliss here and now. But our ego wants to kind of latch and have tendencies towards what we call and know as hang-ups. And it's a lot easier to talk about, when the camera's on and you're doing, you're adding to your YouTube channel, but really truly, real flying is when you're able to do it when the camera's off, and when you're able to do it in your own home, and when you're able to do it, alone. I think the Christians call it gratitude, or whatever. But I think it's something that has to be done in correlation and in relation to you, yourself, your relationship with life and existence. And knowing that, right now is the highest of highs, and right now is is the fresh new start and the fresh new beginning. Because when I saw these cards come out for you, Aquarius, I kind of saw it as like rounding the corner of the new year, ending the holidays. You had to endure them in a way that you didn't want to, but there's this emotional solace coming for you in that Ace of Cups in the upright. Something that you're going to be able to make investments in with that Ace in the Pentacle in the reverse. I kind of read the Ace of Cups coming for you because it's in the upright, and then what you can dole into it, what you can scoop onto it with that Ace of Pentacles. But again, this comes with this kind of new clarity and new perspective. This coming out of this analysis paralysis, keeping yourself at night, seeing how things weren't in your favor or didn't work out for you, as opposed to what's in front of you at the table is like this big bowl of delicious ice cream. Versus, are you going to let it sit there and melt, or are you just going to enjoy it while the time's there? That's what the Hangman is kind of contemplating. It's like, how did it get here? How many people had to pass up on this bowl of ice cream? What's it mean in relation to me? And, are you going to whine about those details, or are you just going to kind of enjoy the fact that, like, oh, so what, like this, I had to cut like a scoop taken out of it or something, but it had my name on it. Like, are you gonna like, woe is me, or are you just gonna be like, hey, look, man, I'm here to enjoy this? So what I'm talking about is like kind of like the adding and subtracting that we do in our mentality, right? And that either leads to an abundance consciousness, a rich, fulfilled, life of gratitude, or it leads to this, poverty consciousness, where we're this kind of receiver of things unfair, or receiver of being hurt or something in some way, when really truly, if you just kind of like revert to like that ignorance is bliss, or some form of for lack of a better word, like this ignorance, or this childlike wonder, or ready to buy the ticket and take the ride, as Hunter S. Thompson would say. This wonderment, this awe and wonder, and kind of seeing things as neither here nor there, neither gain nor loss, but really truly, everything's at like a in the positive for you, no matter what. If you can kind of start to see things like that, see how things are in your favor. It takes practice. It's like brushing your teeth, but really, truly, when you start to see that, then, you have to practice seeing opportunity. And when you start to make that a habit, then that starts to become your lifestyle. Aquarius. Okay, this is throwing your hat in the ring. This is playful competition with that Five of Wands. Maybe a little bit too much petty competition or conflict, not focused on the opportunity, but really truly trying to like get dirty and in the mix. It's kind of taking you out of your power, your manifestation power, with that Magician in the reverse. You're better suited here as an Emperor, seated in your power, and as opposed to being amongst the peons in the mud here, with this competitive Five of Wands energy going on. It's really just zapping you from your power, Aquarius. So really, truly, when you sit in your power, you stop giving it away, is when things are going to start to magnetize to you and attract to you. And then this is when you're going to be able to take swift, momentous movement and action with that Knight of Swords in the upright. It's Taurus, Gemini energy. It's hot out the gates type energy, Aquarius. To leave that petty conflict, to leave that karmic energy that's zapping you out of your power. And then now tuning to a higher power with this Hierophant energy, representative of high spirit, high holy power. Things that are in your favor, your highest favor, which is going to free you. But a lot of the times that has to do with seeing your own Emperor energy. And a lot of times it has to do with kind of like dreaming the okayedness of your situation first and foremost, and how everything's really truly at like it's at a plus factor for you as opposed to a minus factor. But that comes from turning away from anything that's not in your favor. Now, it's a fine line between kind of self delusionment and being delusional, and versus really truly tapping into that fine, perfect balance of like, no, this is really it. Like, I'm burning some I'm burning some good dream energy here. There's certain things that you gotta really just go with, but sometimes in order to go with it, you gotta really truly find yourself aligned with your own soul side. With your own soul science. Okay, spiritual. This is the connection between mind and heart. That's typically what's on the scale being weighed: the mind versus the heart, and the clarity, the truth. It's almost like the road that attaches. There's an actual nerve that kind of synaptic nerve that attaches the mind and the heart. There's like a highway, really, truly, and the more that you're kind of resonating that frequency, the more that you're able to kind of just be gracious and grateful, and that's when you start to magnetize and start to pull in effortlessly the life that you want. But again, it's like it's an attunement, okay? And I guess philosophically, the question is, do you have to make an atonement to make an attunement? And if so, what are you atoning for? And a lot of the times, it's kind of like selling ourselves short for not seeing, like, again, without falling into this whole, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but rather understanding that now is as good a time as ever to kind of step into your best life and be all that you were meant to be here and now. It's always a choice here and now, and that's what this harmony and bliss card talks to, this 10 of Cups here. Okay, Aquarius? It's really, truly just a frequency that you have to kind of tune into and realize that everything before paled into comparison of the now. Because the now is where that enlightenment is, and the now is where that bliss and that grandeur is, and the now is where that real true kind of like high frequency resonance is. And the more that you're able to tap into that, then the more that you're able to kind of like stay into it. Okay? Whatever you need to do that, Aquarius. That's what I got for you. Hope that resonated. Leave a comment below. Feel free to leave a good karma donation below. Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, or holler at your boy for a one-on-one reading. Love to hear from you, Aquarius. Holler at your boy. Peace.